Hey guys, so I'm here to share with you a book that I've read recently that I really enjoyed. And I said a few weeks ago that I want to include more books on my blog that I've read and enjoyed, and this happens to be one of them. So I recently picked up Mrs. Poe by Lynn Cullen, and I had seen this online, and I had seen it in the Book Page magazine that I enjoy. And when I saw it at my library, I just snatched it up because I knew it was going to be good. And this is from a genre that I've really enjoyed lately, where it tells the story of an author or an artist or some famous person in history, and it tells the story of their spouse or their mistress or their child. And so you get to see a famous person in a different light. And I really love historical fiction, and I love this take on historical fiction, so I knew right away that I was going to love this book. And although its title is Mrs. Poe, it's not really about Edgar Allan Poe's wife. It's actually about his mistress, Frances Osgood, and their story together. So Frances Osgood was a poet, and she was married, but her husband was a painter, and he basically left her with 2 small children. She was living with a family friend, and then she met Mr. Poe. At the time, her being a poet and being in a literary society around friends that liked literature, she went to public conversations, and they would have one of their group read their latest poetry or give a speech, and Mr. Poe attended these as well. So this is set in New York City in the mid-1800s, and that's where Mrs. Osgood and Mr. Poe met, was at one of these conversations. And obviously, having a mistress when you're married, and especially since she was married as well, it was frowned upon, and they kept their relationship a secret. And it doesn't really go into like nitty-gritty dirty detail. It really more explores Mrs. Osgood and how she reacted to and responded to and understood Edgar Allan Poe. I'm sure you've read one of his short stories or his poem, The Raven, and he's a very dark, twisted personality. And it sheds some light on that in the book. You hear more about his upbringing and his wife and his mother-in-law, but you also hear them told from the point of Mrs. Osgood, who's discovering these facts along the way through gossip and from him himself, and some through his wife. In the book, Frances and Mrs. Poe are portrayed as acquaintances, and I don't know how much of this is based on truth, but I have a feeling more of it is based on truth than fiction. But I did really enjoy the kind of play that Frances had with both Mr. Poe and Mrs. Poe. It was a little bit different. There is some kind of dark, mysterious element in here that kind of came to light midway through the book, and that was interesting. It kind of echoes Mr. Poe's dark works, and I really liked that. I also really liked Mrs. Osgood's relationship with the family friends that she was staying with after her husband abandoned her. She's a married mother of 2 with no husband, no support, no income, and at that time it was even harder than it is nowadays. She couldn't just go out and get a job. So she was staying with these family friends, and the female friend's name was Eliza, and you see their relationship, you see their friendship, you see how Eliza cautions her and encourages her, and Eliza's worried about her own marriage, and you see that all play out from Frances's perspective. So I just found this book to be really good. Like I said, if you like historical fiction, give this book a shot because it's a really good one. And it did take me about a week and a half to 2 weeks to finish it, which is a little bit longer than I normally take on a book. But this book was just so good, so rich. And even though it's really not super long, I think it's around 300 pages. Yeah, about 315 pages. Whenever I have a book that I really, really like, I tend to slow down And I don't know whether that's subconscious or if it's just like a complete coincidence, but I really slow down and savor a book, and I really sank into this one. So if you're looking for a good historical fiction book to read, I definitely recommend Mrs. Poe by Lynn Cullen. And I just recently discovered that she's got some more books out that are a little bit older that were published before this one, and I cannot wait to see what else she's got in store because they sound similar to this style. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this type of video, if you like book reviews, or if you like any of the other videos on my channel, please subscribe to my channel to see more content. Leave me a comment to let me know what you like or what you'd like to see more of, and like this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.